All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our first installment of our 2023 Coffee Break Series. My name is Travis Cowan with Long Building Technologies. Today, we have Bob McCauley with us, 21-year veteran of Xcel Energy, to talk about rebates. A lot of the time, we don't really pay attention to how many rebates are actually available. And this helps us so much when we're designing buildings and picking equipment and making sure that we're providing the right solution to the end user. So, Bob, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome. The floor is yours, sir.
All right. Thank you, Travis. And good morning, everyone. Glad you could join us. So let's get there we go. It's a little delay there and me changing my screen. Did that change, Travis? Can you see the next screen?
Yes, sir. We're good to go.
Okay, very good. Thank you. So again, my name is Bob McCauley. I am Trade Relations Manager for Xcel Energy's Commercial Industrial Energy Efficiency Programs in Colorado. This first screen has my contact info, my phone number, and my email address. I also have it on the last slide. So if you don't jot it down now and after I go through this, you have questions or want any type of follow-up with me or any of my colleagues, please get a hold of me. That's what I do. I'm typically out and about visiting all the engineering firms, mechanical contractors, consultants, really anybody our commercial customer wants to work with on their energy efficiency programs to make sure you are up to speed with what our various rebates are and what it takes for our customers to qualify. All right, so I typically go around and do lunch and learns, workshops, open houses. I exhibit for Xcel Energy at the various trade shows. So if any of that is on your calendar or radar, please let me know how I can support you. Besides myself, I have about a dozen colleagues called the Business Solutions Center. And their role is to be the liaison with our commercial customer and whoever they want to work with on their energy efficiency project also. All right, so once our customer is involved, that's when I will typically get one of our BSC reps involved. They will do it all, as far as paperwork, qualifying, what equipment gets a rebate, et cetera, et cetera. So tap into them for support because we don't want this to be an onerous process on either you or the customer. We realize sometimes there's a lot of paperwork that needs to be done, but again, that's what we're here for, is to make that as smooth and streamlined as possible. So you see the 800 number here for them. Again, I have this on our last slide coming up too, but there's about a dozen reps readily available to help out on any of your projects. So today I decided, with the audience and having worked with Long for numerous years, at their open house or at a variety of other events, I decided to focus mainly on the HVACR program that we offer. It is, just as the acronym says, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration. However, I want to make sure you're also aware, under that umbrella also falls motors, drives, fans, and pumps. Okay, so it's all considered part of the HVAC program. And I only mention that because if you're using our online digital application, when you're picking which program you want to work on for the rebate, and it's a motor, drive, fan, or pump, it's going to be listed on the HVACR. I only mention that because I do get numerous emails and calls from trade partners who can't find it because they think it should have a separate listing. So a couple of changes. Effective in April, the HVACR prescriptive rebates are now good for 24 months from the date of invoice. So if you had any projects last year that qualified for a prescriptive rebate, but for whatever reason fell through the cracks when it came to applying for our rebate, they're still good. You can send in, the customer can send in the rebate application with the pertinent paperwork, and we will still honor that rebate. And I know I saw a lot of that happen towards the end of the year as people were cleaning up their files and finding things, then asking, I don't think I applied, did I? No. Can I? Yes, that's the good news. The other key, and hopefully you're aware of this because we promoted this quite a bit last year when it took place, we have implemented a 50% bonus on all the equipment that falls under the HVACR umbrella. It started in May 2022, and normally we don't extend them quite this long, but because of all the various supply chain issues going on out there, we figured, hey, why put a bonus in place when a lot of people can't get some of this equipment? I know it's easing up now, which is great news, but this bonus is good through August 31st of this year. So any of the rebate numbers I'm about to talk about are standard rebates. You can add a 50% bonus on top of that. The key, as you see in this last bullet point, is that we cap out at 75% of project cost. Standard rebate would be 60%, but with the bonus, because we added to it, we are now capping out at 75%. So our rebate will only cover up to 75% of equipment and labor. I say only, that's still a terrific deal. All right, so when it comes to cooling equipment, currently the only prescriptive rebates we offer downstream to our commercial customer are a variety of chillers. You see them listed here. I won't go through every bullet point. VFDs on chillers, and then of course direct evaporative pre-cooling for air-cooled condensers, better known as DPAC. So here's our first listing here. DPAC, we're currently paying $100 per ton. That's the standard rebate. But if you have a job, a project that gets invoiced and sent to us by August 31st this year, you can make that $150 per ton. All right. And I think I forgot to mention on the previous slide, no special rebate app is needed. You fill out the standard rebate app, and our rebate processing group automatically knows which equipment qualifies for the bonus, and it will automatically get added to the rebate. Okay, so you don't need some special form. I also want to mention that since September 2015, we no longer have offered downstream rebates on this equipment. And the reason I keep this in my slide when I'm presenting on this program, because inevitably, even though it's been, what, 6+ years, 7 years now, I still get questions. I still have trade partners contact me and go, hey, I'm bidding on a project for a variety of DX units, a bunch of rooftops. You know, what would the rebate be? We don't currently offer downstream rebates to customers for any of these items that you see, P-tax, water source, heat pumps, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so keep that in mind. It was just these items for cooling. Now, when it comes to heating, we've had a number of changes here in the last year that I wanted to highlight in red in case you weren't aware of it. First of all, we only offer prescriptive rebates for non-condensing boilers currently. And the amount is $1,400 per million BTU prorated. So if it's $500,000, you get half that. If it's $2 million, you get double that. And yes, the bonus applies. So it's $2,100 per million BTU through August. All right. We used to offer prescriptive rebates for condensing boilers, 92 plus. However, that ended a little over a year ago. They are custom only now. We need to analyze the project prior to any equipment being purchased or installed. All right, we come up with rebate dollars savings, and then the customer has 24 months to implement and get the agreed upon rebate. Boiler tune-ups are another thing. Unfortunately, we ended a little over a year ago. However, the good news is both of these items are being re-looked at by our engineering team and John Schneider, our cooling, our HVAC rep, program manager, sorry. And I'm hoping by the second half of this year, we will see both of these items back as prescriptive rebates. So keep an ear out. If you're part of our trade partner network, you get updates from me about our filings and about our programs. So you will see an update on when hopefully that will take place. Water heaters, you see the proration here, $400 for every 100,000 BTU with the 75,000 minimum and the minimum efficiency. Pipe insulation. Another area we're seeing increased demand for. We're paying anywhere from $6 to $8 per linear foot based on the diameter, the water temperature, and of course the linear feet. This is all for retrofit applications. New construction requires it. So obviously if it's code, we don't pay an incentive for that. Some more items. I won't go through every one of these individually other than their names, the modular burner controls, outdoor air reset controls, stack dampers, steam traps. See a lot of inquiries come in on these being replaced as there's huge energy loss, you know, when people just don't bother. So you see the numbers as to what we are offering. And again, 50% bonus. All these items are listed just like this on the rebate application available on our website. Unit heaters. We have a few here listed, the non-condensing power vent and then the infrared. We pay a proration on that depending on BTU. D-strat fans, want to focus on this because this was a new entry about a year plus ago. I know Long also has a manufacturer too that supplied these. I met with them at their open house, and we've seen a number of projects come through. It's a pretty nice rebate, $2,000 per fan, as long as it meets the requirements you see listed here. And yes, not to beat a dead horse, but the 50% bonus does apply. So it's actually $3,000, okay, per fan as a rebate through August. When it comes to motors, we used to have two separate plans, a plan A and a plan B. We did away with the differentiation. Doesn't matter to us anymore, whether it's a new motor, you're replacing a dead motor, or replacing one that's working but maybe is on its last legs. We used to have different rebates depending on that. Now it's just one plan, one rebate. The other thing is we've increased the prescriptive from 1 to 200 horsepower. Now you can go up to 500 horsepower. All right, and the rebates vary on horsepower from anywhere from $1,000 to $2,200. And of course, NEMA efficiency is the standard. So you will see on our rebate application what the minimum efficiencies we are now looking for in order to qualify for one of these rebates. When it comes to VFDs, this is one of our most lucrative programs, probably second after lighting overall for the amount of energy savings and rebate dollars we pay out every year. I decided I would just put, this is a page from the rebate application. And you see over here, this column shows you. So I'm going to highlight the 5 horsepower. Notice it's a $900 rebate right now for putting a VFD in on a fan or pump application. Okay, yes, the 50% bonus applies, but you see the 1 to 200 horsepower VFD amounts plus the 50% bonus. Over here on the left side, it tells you the requirements. You know, most of it is HVAC, non-HVAC is allowed, but we have some stipulations here. So keep an eye on that, available on our website. When it comes to pumps, the PEI standard took place in 2020, the Pump Efficiency Index. So we have a variety of rebates as long as the pumps meet those. And I'm going to pull up the page from our rebate app because here are the PEI ratings. For pumps, as you're probably aware, it's a 1.0 or less. The lesser the number, the greater the savings. So here are the PEIs we're looking for. I am told all new pumps have that standard on the nameplates. So I want to use the 5 as an example again. If you're just putting in a pump that meets that PEI, we pay $180. If you put it in with an integrated drive, it's now $1,080. So now notice that is the same additional $900 that the VFD alone was listed for on the previous application. And I only mention that so you know you can take advantage of one or the other. There's no advantage, you know, to picking one over the other. We have all the same logic built in. FEI, the Fan Efficiency Index, started about a year and a half ago, I guess, and it's a similar type of setup as the PEI, except for the fact the FEI is 1.0 or greater when it comes to efficiency. So here's what we're looking at. 10 horsepower, 15 to 60, what we're looking for as a minimum FEI. Again, a 5 horsepower as my example. If you just put in a fan that meets that FEI, we'll pay $220. If you add a drive to it, another $900, it's $1,120. So you can use this application if you're doing both a fan and drive, or if you're adding a drive later as a retrofit, you can just do the drive application. But again, it's going to be a similar rebate, and the bonus applies in both cases. And finally, refrigeration. All right, this is mainly for our liquor convenience store, some grocery stores, mainly any commercial customers whose refrigeration use is a large part of their energy bill. You see, I'm not going to go through every line item here, but these are listed on our website on the rebate application. Okay, I want to also point out that we do offer a free on-site energy assessment through one of our partners, Clear Result. They will go in and do an assessment and look at all these systems and come up with recommendations and how they tie into these various rebates. The good news is we do the assessment. However, the customer is still free to use you or whoever else they want to for the recommendations. All right, we don't take part in that. We don't step on anybody's toes in this matter. Okay, when it comes to kitchen, restaurants or any other type of commercial customer that has large kitchen use on the gas side, you see we have a number of commercial food service rebates. listed here in the rebate column, and then what it takes for the qualification. And yes, again, these do qualify for the 50% bonus. Okay, coming up on time here, my last slide. The Business Solution Center, again, a great first call if you're working with one of our customers and need to make sure they qualify, especially on the gas side, in case they're on gas transport. Electric, they should qualify, no problem. You see their email address on this slide also, and then of course my name and email address. And of course, by all means, we have a very close, good working relationship with Travis and Archie, you know, and Eric and a bunch of the guys over at Long. By all means, contact your Long sales associate if you need any further information about Xcel or our programs, and we support each other in those efforts. So we will step in and help wherever we can. All right, that's it for me, Travis.
Bob, thank you so much. I did see a message about how the gas phase out, how this is affecting gas phase out. We'll get back to you on that. If you could reach out to your Long salesman for that question, and we'll get an answer for you. Again, thank you, Bob. I know it's a lot of information to digest. We will be sending this presentation out. It will be on our YouTube page, our Long YouTube page as well. So feel free to go there and look at it and contact Bob or your Long sales engineer if you have any questions. Thank you all so much for joining us. Next week, Sean Davenport Smith will be hosting our coffee break, and the subject is Hydronics 101. So tune in for that. Thank you all for joining us, Bob. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Hope you all have a great year.
All right.
Happy New Year. Thanks, guys.
Again. Bye.
Bye-bye.